Oh, hi. Um, I wasn't expecting you guys to be here. Hell, I didn't even expect to be at this point. I didn't expect to be here either. Huh. Well, anyways, for those who don't know, my name is Brendan Bromley, and I am a big lover of movies. I have loved movies since the dawn of time, and I am a big, big fan of the action movie genre. And one of my favorite movies in the action movie genre is Dirty Harry. Directed by Don Siegel and starring Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry was released on December 23rd, 1971. And it follows New York cop Detective Harry Callahan as he's trying to track down this killer by the name of Scorpio, who has kidnapped a young girl where Harry Callahan must find her before she is killed. Now, if you were to know anything about Dirty Harry, you would know that he's not necessarily the best cop. He doesn't make the best decisions. As a matter of fact, he's not what you would even call a law-abiding cop. Here's what I mean. In the scene where Detective Harry Callahan finally catches up to Scorpio and finally brings him into custody, he fails to read Scorpio his civil rights because he believes that Scorpio simply doesn't deserve them, which then is a huge problem in the film because later Scorpio is released when he reveals to the other police that he was not read his civil rights. Speaking of the character of Scorpio, Scorpio is played by Andrew Robinson, who gives a fantastic and bone-chilling performance as the main villain. He's able to portray the ruthlessness along with the psychopathicness that the character has. And when I say ruthlessness and psychopathicness and all that, I'm not really telling you the full scheme of things. Like, he does some stuff that are very, very disturbing. Like hijacking a bus where there are dozens of little kids on it, or taking one of said kids and putting a gun to their head to use as a human shield. And you would think that with all the bad stuff that the character does in the movie, that maybe the actor rose up and became a really famous actor, but unfortunately, this role didn't mean anything well to the actor. Sure, it was a good role, but Andrew Robinson wasn't able to get another really fantastic role in any other movie. But I digress. This movie is a great American icon that has stood the test of time with fantastic performances and a great story. Dirty Harry, of course, gets a 10 out of 10. Now with the ratings for the sequels, they slowly start to deteriorate down. Oh yeah, bet I didn't mention that. There are 4 movie sequels in this movie franchise. The second movie being Magnum Force, the third movie being The Enforcers, the fourth movie being Sudden Impact, and the fifth and final Dirty Harry movie being The Deadpool. Now, given the fact that I gotta get through this movie series, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of I'm gonna do you guys a favor. And we are gonna go through the first 2 sequels in this movie franchise, starting off with Magnum Force. Directed by Ted Post and with Clint Eastwood back as the main character of Dirty Harry, Magnum Force was released on December 20th of 1973 and follows Detective Harry Callahan as he tries to track down a group of rogue police officers that have taken the law into their own hands. Now, Magnum Force has the same feeling as the original, but unfortunately it doesn't have the same momentum as the original. Listen, even though the cops make for great villains, and how they are very unapologetic and very unforgiving in their tasks, they don't have the same presence as Scorpio. They don't have the same amount of terror that Scorpio evoked out of all of us in the audience. Even though Magnum Force doesn't have an outstanding villain, or it doesn't keep up with the momentum of the original, that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. As a matter of fact, I say Magnum Force is a great sequel to Dirty Harry. It has the feeling of the original. Dirty Harry is always good. And the cops, even though they aren't as memorable as Scorpio, they still make for a very, very entertaining set of villains. Magnum Force gets an 8.5 out of 10. So, then after Magnum Force came the third movie, The Enforcer. Directed by James Fargo, and once again starring Clint Eastwood as the main character, The Enforcer was released on December 22nd of 1976. We follow Dirty Harry as he is assigned with the task to take down a terrorist named Bobby Maxwell who has stolen a whole bunch of weapons and a whole lot of rocket launchers and threatens to use them against a nearby city to enrich himself. It's up to him and his new partner to take down the terrorists before they kill anyone or anything inside this city. Did you hear what I said? I said new partner. Though, unfortunately, with the new partner, they had a missed opportunity with her. What I mean by a missed opportunity is they missed the opportunity to possibly make her a love interest to Harry Callahan, or maybe someone who would change his views of people in the world. But unfortunately, she is a throwaway character because towards the end of the movie, spoiler alert, she is killed by the main terrorist, Bobby Maxwell. Speaking of Bobby Maxwell, he is one of the things that drags this movie down for me. He slows the movie down with every scene that he's in, aside from scenes towards the end, and he is only doing it to make himself rich, which is a very, very weak villain motivation. Now, even with the partner and the villain, even with how weak those characters are, or with how much of a missed opportunity they are, that doesn't mean the movie is a bad movie. I don't think it's necessarily a great sequel like Magnum Force was, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad movie either. It's an okay movie. It has a couple decent parts, but it also is very slow at times. Which, unfortunately, aside from the fact that Dirty Harry's in this movie is rather forgettable, which is why I'm going to give The Enforcer a 6 out of 10. Well, there you go. I just reviewed the first 3 movies in the Dirty Harry franchise. Now, tomorrow, I will be reviewing Sudden Impact and The Deadpool to finish off the Dirty Harry franchise and to continue this month's theme of action movies. My name is Brendan Bromley, and I hope all of you have a good night.